Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your hosts, Ell and Lisaboo. Hey guys, so can you believe this is number 17 of the Saturday Night podcast, Lisa?
No, I can't. It just feels like
17 weeks.
yesterday. It just feels like
Oh,
yesterday we started.
oh God, yeah. Yeah, God, yeah. I can't believe it just like started uh, just from a conversation. From like, oh yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of streaming over on Kick. Sort of it went from there, and then sort of like developed into what we're doing now. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've got 17 weeks, 17 weeks of this.
Well, time flies when you're having fun.
Oh yes, oh yes, yeah. So yeah, right. A bit of a grift, little bit of a grift. If you're new here, hello. Yeah, subscribe. It does help the channel by subscribing. And if you're already if you think you're already subscribed, please check because I know YouTube are being sort of like funny buggers, shall we say, and subscribing people. So please make sure that you are subscribed because, like I said, YouTube's been nefarious on some channels. So they do like unsubscribing people. So yeah, and spank that like. We do like a good spanking here. So yeah, and share and comment. It does help. Like so, it does help the channel. And if you're in the live chat, say hello. We don't bite much. So yeah, and yeah. Oh shit! I nearly forgot to put the pin comment up. I'll do that in a minute. If you look in the description, there is our gorgeous Lisa Boo's uh, Etsy store there. So go check out Lisa Boo's Etsy store out there called Boo the Bell X Studio. She's got some amazing stuff on there. So yeah, go check her out. She's brilliant. She's got some really nice stuff there. So yeah, and I have been looking at the store, and there's a couple of things I want, but I'm going to be ordering some stuff over the next couple of months. So I just got to find the right things. So anyway, so yeah, go check out Boo the Bell X Studio over on Etsy. That's our gorgeous Lisa Boo's store there. So yeah, go check her out. So Lisa Boo, let's get
Hmm.
into this. We have 7 bands for you guys today. Three are from our good friend Kurusuti Rando-san, or better known as Chris. She sent over 3 bands, well, 3 songs actually from 2 bands. Um, two from him and Sabaton. So, yeah, so we're going to get into them later. And Lisa chose 3 songs, which should have been done on Monday, but I completely forgot and I was
It
busy.
was
That's why I forgot.
it
Yeah,
it was a late start though too. So um,
yeah.
we'll blame that on me.
It's all right. It's all right. Things happen. Things happen. So, right. Well, I just got to get my right place on my notes. So, right. Yeah, because I've got 2 things on my notes. Monday night podcast and a Saturday night podcast. So I've got to find the right place. So, right. There we are. Right. Uh, Now I chose this song. I think it was last weekend. Or was it Monday? I chose the song. So now I've written a full-blown uh, review for this song, and I will post the link into the chat for people to rate what I thought of the band and the song. So the first band is a band called Eternal Silence, and their song Death and the Maiden. So, Lisa Boo, Lisa, what are your thoughts of this band and the song?
Well, they're amazing. Let's start off there. They're an Italian symphonic metal band. It started off really cool with the guitars, the drums, and violin, which was like, wow, that's so cool. Strong vocals, nice balance between the female and the male singers. And I love when symphony and metal is combined. So, very cool band, amazing solos, drums and bass keep amazing rhythm. Love the guitar solos and the pace of the song. Transitions were excellent, and I love Norse mythology. So the lyrics and of the song were very intriguing to me. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah. Oh good. Yeah, I'll give you a little bit of a taster of what I wrote. Now it's sort of like similar to you, Lisa. Sort of like I was really impressed with overall. I was really impressed with the overall sound of the band. Really impressed because, like you, I love symphonic metal. I really love it. I love that combination, the combined classical symphony and metal um, genres. And yeah, it's just like I really, what made it for me, what really made it's like a little taster of the what I wrote in the review is what really made it for me was actually seeing the violin player actually playing live on stage in front of a crowd, which to me they added that added as sort of like another level to the overall sound, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. It was actually good to actually see that is to actually see the violin player actually on stage with the band. So and what also made it really good to see is, like I said, it was like the band playing live actually on stage in front of a crowd. But what really made what I really liked was is that they added their behind the scenes clips in the video, which for the band being getting prepared for going on stage, and it's like bit that's what I like about the band, or like overall about the death and the maiden song was there was the combination of the band sort of like getting ready to go up on stage to perform live in front of a crowd, and it's like sort of like you see the preparations, the warm ups, the warm up not only of the vocalists, the warm up of the guitarist, the violin player, the drummer, the bassist. You know what I mean? That is also, and then actually seeing them perform actually live on stage.
Yeah.
So that's what I really liked about it. That's what I really liked about that about the song. So yeah. So any other comments? Any other sort of like comments about the band before we sort of like get into the rating?
I really liked the fact that it was live too. I thought that was awesome. I love live performances. Like we've said before, there are bands that can only basically they like to do studio work, and the ones that can actually get out there and play live and have fun you know, be in front of a crowd and just play their music. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So
Oh, good, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say that I know that I've been to like technically I've lost count how many times I've been to gigs, especially over the last 30 plus years. It must be in the region of at least 500 in the last 30 plus years, and so I can count on one hand how many bands I've seen that just stick to just stick to releasing studio work, studio albums, studio EP, singles, stuff like that. Because some of these, like I said, I can count on one hand, where they just don't know what to do. It's a bit like a deer trapped in the headlights, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. The
They
stage
just can't.
presence. Yeah, they don't, and that self consciousness and that you know, like you said, a deer in the headlights. Um, and that takes time. That takes practice. That takes um, you know, a lot of performing and doing it and doing it and doing it and being able to be comfortable in front of crowds and an audience.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh yeah. I know. I know this. I know there's certain people out there who who are musicians, but they've got like sort of like crippling stage fright,
Yeah.
and it's just like they are brilliant musicians, but they just can't get up on stage. And there's some people out there who just haven't got the aptitude for being on stage. Like I said, they might be brilliant. They are brilliant musicians, but they can't. They just they just freeze on stage.
Yeah.
You know?
And that, yeah, and that's a big thing to overcome. If you are more of an introvert and someone that has that, and it's really, it is debilitating. And if someone can overcome that and actually go and play, um, I my hats off to them, because to overcome something like that is a feat. Like, you know, they're warriors if they can
Yeah,
do that. Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. I see Dan in the chat there. Hey up,
Hi,
Dan.
Dan.
Yeah. Hey up there, Dan. So yeah. So Lisa, what is your rating of the band?
8.5, solid. I really enjoyed them. I really enjoyed them. I want to listen to more of their music. I don't know how I haven't heard them before. I
Yeah.
I might have, but it's like I have to I have to listen to more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Eternal Silence on Rockshot Records. Um, Rockshot Records is a damn good record label. They find some amazing bands out there, and yeah, I've heard of them before, but with the amount of music I've listened to, especially over the last 6.5, 7 years, it's sort of like it's hard to keep track of. So yeah, if you Rock Shop Records, they're primarily on that label, and they just released the couple of new songs, and definitely let's go just check. Where is it? Where is it? At the minute, there's Dan has asked you doing okay? Yeah, we're doing all right. Dan, Lisa, are you
Yep.
doing okay?
Doing okay.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, the Death and the Maiden came out. Well, officially been released. Video came out 5 days ago. So yeah, it would be Monday when I saw this come over on in my feed, YouTube feed. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah. 5 days ago. So I'll put the link in the video, link to the video in the chat there. So yeah, check out Eternal Silence and their song Death and the Maiden. And I'll put 9.5 because they impressed me that much.
Wow.
They, they
Awesome.
impressed me
Yeah.
because overall they looked like they had fun on stage when I was watching the live. Like I said, there's the video there.
Yeah.
There's the video there.
Yeah.
They looked they had fun on. Oh, get off. Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll have to listen to more. Um.
yeah,
Yeah, and then I'll see what my ratings will be. They'll probably be a lot higher.
oh yeah, yeah. So obviously there's no sound there for obvious reasons because I don't want to get dinged. I don't want to get dinged. So yeah, brilliant band, brilliant song. Check them out, guys. Check them out. So yeah, right. The next song is from our good friend Kurisugi Rando-san, better known as Chris. She sent over 3 songs. The first 2 songs are from the band Him, H-I-M. It's the first one is Heart Killer. So, what did you think of the Him and the song Heart Killer?
Um, well, he's from Finland, right?
Yeah.
Really strong singer. I like the drums and the guitars on this. I love the melody of the song. Catchy lyrics, good transitions. And I liked on the video itself. I liked the use of black and white with the red color on this video. The contrast was cool. I liked the use of keyboards, and I could see why Chris likes this song. It had a good pace, and yeah, it had really good solos for the guitars. So yeah, I thought it was an awesome band.
Cool, cool. Yeah, it's for me. It's been a while for me to actually sit down and actually listen to him because I primarily listened to I sort of like moved away from the signed bands over to the unsigned and independent bands, such as
Yeah,
like Eternal Silence. But thank you to Chris for for actually reminding me of him. Like you, um, I thought the song was good. Sort of like the song is sort of like more of a upbeat song type of thing, like within the pacing of the song. The guitars are good. The drums solid. Same with the bass. Um, both drums and the bass sort of like help drove the song along. Um, and yeah, like I say, good use of the keys, which I liked. The singer, what can I say? Solid to the
yeah,
point. He sort of like knew how to sort of like go sort of like up sort of like go up and down, sort of like, so to speak, if you know what I mean. It's like his vocal style, sort of he knew where to sort of like go, when to go high and when to go low, and how to stay in the middle type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, really good, really, really good. Thank you, Chris, for actually reminding me of him. So yeah, so yeah. So any other sort of like comments about the Heart Killer song from him?
He really knows how his voice, like he knows how to modulate. Very interesting singer. How he modulates his voice. Um, yeah, I found it amazing. I, yeah, I thought it was cool how his voice could modulate like he did.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So so Lisaboo, what is your rating of that particular song by him, Heart Killer?
I give a solid 8.
Cool, cool. Okay, Dennis, catch you later.
You're done.
Catch you later. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. Nice Arnie reference there from Terminator. God, can you believe that movie's 40 years old?
I can't believe it. I don't want to believe it.
Oh no. Uh, yeah, yeah. For my rating, I put down 7, but thinking about it, the way the actual structure of the song and everything, what went into actually doing the song, the music, the vocals, the lyrics, and everything, I'm sort of like leaning towards the 7.5 mark. So yeah, so but a solid 7 for me. But like I said, sort of like starting to lean it towards the 7.5.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, I was more at a 7.5, and then I listened to it again, and then again. And I usually listen to him a couple, 2 or 3 times
yeah,
before I. The
yeah,
first time I usually close my eyes and I just listen to the song, and then the second time I'll listen to it, watching it all, and then the third, then I'll start doing the actual review. That way I have it like, I have both the visual and the audio like separate, and then do the review, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. I'm the
Yeah.
same. I tend to when I initially listen to the song, just listen to the audio, just purely the audio. It's the same when I do a review of an EP or an album. I just put the album on, or the EP or album on, and I just let it play. And I just listen to the audio whilst I'm doing something else until and then when I listen to a Pacific, say for instance, I listen to a Pacific when I sort of like listen to a Pacific song on the EP or an album. I sort of like listen when I listen to it. Um, I sort of like pick up on certain points in that song. And then I make a mental note, and then sort of like when I listen to it again, I pay more attention to it. And if that initial thought is in my head still valid, then when I third time for the third time or when I listen to it, I write it down. If you know what I mean. And then it sort of like goes from there. And that goes for
Yeah.
every song I listen to. If you, that's when I sort of like that's when I the third or fourth time, depending on the band and the topic and the genre of rock and metal. That's when
Yeah.
I've usually run over 3 times when I've sort of like on the third time. That's when I sort of like write everything down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, totally get it because I do the same thing. And we do not
Yeah.
compare notes.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yeah. We definitely don't. We sort of like say, right, okay, these are the songs. We go off on in our separate little corners, and we just we do not say we do not pass notes in the classroom sort of thing. We do not do that. We sort of like get to know each other's thoughts live here. This is where we sort of like compare notes live on stream. So yeah, so
Yeah.
we definitely do not compare notes. Oh, yeah, right. Do you want to do the second song from him, or do you want to do the third song from what Chris sent over, Sabaton?
We might as well do it in order. We might as well do
Yeah, yeah,
the second
uh,
song.
yeah. So the next song from him, HIM, is "Right in My Arms." So, what is your thoughts about this song? Considering that this is the second song from him.
Yeah. Um, it was different. It was a different kind of song than the other one, which I liked. I like that he it differs a bit in his music. Um, I liked the start of it. It was soft, right? And then the drums and the guitars picked up. Um, then the vocals came in deep, and the lyrics were catchy. Um, the melody was catchy too, which was good. I liked how the vocalist uses his vocals. It reminded me this song and the way he sang this song. It reminded me of the Cult because I'm a huge the Cult fan, as you know. It reminded me a lot of the Cult. So, um, so yeah, I really like this one. Transitions were good, good solos, and it was really catchy. So yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty much the same. Now, when I listened to the song earlier on, basically for the third time, fourth time, sorry, fourth time, just to refresh my mind a little bit, um, I thought that the drums and the bass were solid, um, steady throughout the song. You know what I mean? You've got like that solid bass going through. Um, like I said, the singer, good. Again, good. Slightly different in the vocal, slightly different in the vocals. It's got like sort of like that slightly more raspier vibe to them.
Yeah,
Um, like I said, solid. So, some nice guitar solos in there. Now, when I when I wrote my thoughts down, sort of like the guitars and the bass sort of like reminded me of very early Billy Idol when he went
uh,
solo from. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like a bit like not White Wedding. Yeah, bit like this, slightly bit like White Wedding on the in on the bass and the on the drums. But when you mentioned when you mentioned the cult, I was like thinking, oh right, okay. I was like, yeah, I can actually hear that. I can actually hear the cult in the song on the on. So yeah, yeah. I was like I said, it's like overall for me anyway, for Right in Your Arms is yeah, solid, really good song, really good song. So yeah, any other thoughts, Lisa, about this song?
The video was kind of neat too. But yeah, I wanted to like just you know be more in depth on the actual music for these ones. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it reminded me so much of the cult. I couldn't help it because I love the cult. So it was like I could hear it. Just it was just like
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, um, what is your rating of the song?
I did 8.5 on this one. I this one I liked a little bit more because I think it was because of the cult kind of vibe to it. So I give it an 8.5.
Yeah, yeah. For me, I give it the song an eight, a solid eight. Um, because me personally, I could hear Billy Idol, sort of like tiny little bit of Billy Idol, and the song White Wedding. I don't know why, but for some reason, but that's just me. Everybody's sort of like perception is slightly different. So
Yeah, same kind
yeah,
of genre though. It was there.
sort of like yeah,
Yeah,
sort of like yeah. Once you, if you come to think of it, Billy Idol sort of like punk and goth, sort of like stemmed from punk.
yeah,
So it's sort of like yeah, they've got like that similar type of styling in the structure of the songs, if you know what I mean.
yeah, totally.
Yeah. So yeah, really good, really good song. That I like that one. I like you. I sort of like that song better. I like to Right in Your Arms better than Killer Heart, the Heart Killer. If you know what I mean. It's I like that. I like the second song better than the first one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so right now, unfortunately, Chris didn't say what she mentioned the third band Sabaton, but she didn't mention the third song. She didn't mention a song. So luckily, I knew the band. I know the band relatively well. So So I went out and chose the song The Last Stand." So Lisa Boo. Now I've sort of like now before we get into Lisa Boo's sort of like review. Now I will be writing a review for The Last Stand by Sabaton, either probably tomorrow. So I've got sort of like it's in my head what I want to write down. But Lisa, your take on the band.
um, I didn't know what to expect. Um, he looks like very heavy metalish. He looks like I wasn't sure what to expect. So it was like when I heard the music start, it was like, oh, okay. It wasn't quite what I was expecting
Yeah,
more of a death metal vibe.
yeah. Was it a good sort of like surprise or a bad
Oh yeah.
surprise?
Oh good. It was a good surprise. I like, depends on the death metal, but it was surprising. It was a good surprise.
Yeah,
So the song started with church bells, which I found very interesting. Then the drums and guitars and the orchestral backing came in. bit of a backstory on the song. The lyrics: the outnumbered Swiss guard protectors of the Vatican stood against the invading horde during the sack of Rome in 1527. They gave their lives so the Pope could make his escape. So when the lyrics say, then the 189 in the service of heaven gave their lives on the steps of heaven, that is what it references. A very cool song. Loved the transitions, excellent transitions. Great vocals, great guitars and drums, and the orchestral work was amazing. Their lighting on stage was pretty fantastic. Cool song. And yeah, thanks to Chris for giving us this band to review. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said, a review to come. I've just got to write it up. So it's probably going to be. I'll probably release it tomorrow at some point. So yeah, pretty much the same. The music, everything. When because I've heard the song prior, but it's been a while since I actually listened to it.
Yeah. Same.
Uh,
Same. Yeah.
So it's been what, a good 5-6 years since I last heard the band properly.
But see,
So yeah,
I never actually. I think I heard it on the radio, and I never really actually saw the band, like the video. So it was putting a face, to the music kind of thing, and it was not what I expected when I looked at the video, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I was expecting something a lot different.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was definitely yeah, especially when especially when somebody who hasn't really know doesn't really know the band properly. If you know what I mean, they think, oh god, here we go. There's some black metal or death metal, or some other extreme metal. Oh, right, okay. Now you sort of like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's a band. It's a really really good band, a really good band. Yeah, all the links to the bands are actually in the description there. So if you want to check the bands out, they're in the description there. So yeah, like I said, I'll give you sort of like a little bit of a like what I was thinking, what I'm thinking about is, yeah, the brilliant, the orchestration on this song is absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant on this, and yeah, it's really cool band. The guitars are brilliant. The synth vocals are brilliant. So yeah, you'll get to know the full review out to either to yeah, be tomorrow. So yeah, yeah. So Lisa, what is your review of this song, "The Last Stand" by Sabaton?
I was leaning at 8.5, but now I'm leaning more to a 9. Um, After I listened to it like a few times because of the orchestration and just the power of the band, right? With the vocals and everything together, they're a really good band. So I'm leaning more to a 9. I'm kind of in there between the 8.5 and the 9, but leaning more to the 9. So,
Yeah. For
yeah.
me, for me, it's a 9. It's a 9.
9.
9. Yeah. 9. 9. Yeah. I just every as soon as you said that, my mind went straight to I don't know if you ever saw the film, Clint Eastwood film, Kelly's Heroes.
I've seen all of it, so I probably have.
Yeah, where he's a U.S. army guy, and sort of like he finds out that there's gold in this French town, and he captures this German officer, intelligence officer, and he interrogates him in this barn. And the German officers nine. He asks
Nine.
the question
Yeah.
nine, because the officer was absolutely smashed out of his head on whiskey. I was like nine.
I always say that it's so funny because I have some German in my history on my mom's side, so it's funny because my little my cousin's little boy, her husband was German, like spoke German, everything German, right? And their little boy, I'll never forget it. We were at a family reunion, and the little boy was nine, nine all the way through. You know how kids say no, 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 right? But he was
Yeah,
nine. It was just hilarious. So I get that
yeah,
in my head all the time. Whenever I hear nine, it's like nine.
yeah. Sometimes kids are funny.
Oh
They
man.
do some funny stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah. So moving on to the next band. These next three bands are Lisa's picks, choices. So, right. The next band is a band called Burning Attic with their song. Let me see what it goes. Blinded by Rage. So, you want to start?
Sure. Unless you want to.
Yeah, I'll start. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. When I first heard the song, I was like, right, okay, that's a bit of aggressive. That's a bit of aggressive start there. I was like, right, okay. When the start of the song, I was like, right, right, and then something went on, and it's like the drums. I was like, that's the thing with me. I just love like the drums and the bass in metal. And when they also like work really well together, it's just like it's unbelievable. And with his song by "Blinded by Rage" by Bernie Attic, I was like, oh yeah, oh yeah, now you got my attention. I was just like, straight off the bat, straight in, pure aggression. That's what I like. That's what I like in a song when you get do you know when you need that sort of like pick me up, and he's just like go straight in and he's just saying, oh yes, oh yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big thumbs up from with the bass and the drummer, bassist and the drummer from the Burning Attic. Says here, I put out good start with the aggression. Love the drums on this as they more they sort of like brought the drums forward on the song. Uh, um, the bass is basically I know this rhymes. The bass is in your face. You know what I mean? It's sort of like feels like the bass guitar is basically with sound is punching you in the face. If you know what I mean. You know what I mean? It's like uh, the guitars are really good. Um, brilliant guitar solos in there. Really good guitar solos. Um, the vocals, I liked because they got that raspy, gruff um, style to the vocals, which I like, and it fits in with like the aggression of the song, um, and yeah, I enjoyed that, really enjoyed that. So yeah, so right, blinded by rage, and obviously the aggression. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
really, really good. So Lisa, what's your take on this song?
Uh, well, they're a fairly new band. They formed in 2020, so you wouldn't think it with how they play together. They mesh really well. They're a five-piece band. They're actually from Quebec, out in Canada. They're out east in Canada here. Um, yeah, melodic guitar riffs, groovy drums, and intense vocals. Starts out strong with the vocals, drums, and guitars, and then they had a super cool guitar solo with cool riffs. Deep vocals add to the song, dark lyrics, fast pace and transitions do slightly slower, but I really like the transitions in this. Yeah, like the band, they work well together. Enjoyed the guitar solos and drums and the bass because it really kept it going. Yeah, for lovers of death metal, dark metal, you're gonna enjoy this song. So, so yeah,
Cool. Yeah. So Lisa, what's your rating of this band?
I give them a solid 8.
Cool, cool, cool. Very similar, in my rating, 7.5. But actually thinking where I wrote this, I'm sort of, and I've been thinking about the actual song. I'm sort of like leaning towards the 8, but definitely it's from me it's a definite 7.5. But sort of like starting to lean towards the 8. So yeah, really, yeah, I really like
Big
that
fan,
band.
really good. Yeah,
Really. And like I said, guys, all the links to the songs videos are actually in the description below. So yeah, go check them out, guys, after the stream. So right, the next band is a band called, let me see, Sticks and Stones Band, and the song "Going Down." Now, naughty, naughty people out there, so don't jump the gun on this one. Don't, yeah, yeah. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. So behave yourselves.
well, they can think it, but it's not what it's about.
Yeah, it's not what you think. So yeah, right, Lisa, you want to start off this one?
Sure. Oh my goodness. Of course, now I gotta start, and I'm like giggling. Oh my goodness. Okay, I can do this. I can be a professional.
What's a
Okay.
professional?
Yeah, what's professional? Not that kind of professional. Okay, it starts with the band in orange jail jumpers. They're in prison, obviously, in the video. Really strong vocals, drums, and guitars. Cool guitar riffs and solos. I said nice shred. Lyrics: There's no escape for me now. There's no way out. I'm going fighting all the way. I loved it. I love the lyrics. It's like never give up, which is my motto in life. Never give up. Not
Never.
fighting. I'm gonna fight all the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, super super cool. Fighting spirit lyrics for the video. Um, enjoyed the lyrics as they aren't giving up, even though they are in a bad position. Loved the quick pace of the song and super cool video. So yeah, and it's not what you think.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh god, yeah. It's not what you think, guys. It's not what you think. So get your mind out of the gutter. So yeah, pretty much the same. I like the band. I like the fast pace of this. Um, the for me, the bass and drums set the pace to set the pace to fast and are more, I know, to the fore. They brought the bass and the drums to obviously to like sort of like set the pace and everything, and they brought them to the fore and everything. The vocals are good. They sort of like, oh god, the vocals great. I like the vocals on this, and I was also did pick up the on the when I listened to the lyrics. It's about committing a crime and going down a path where they're sort of like in a bad position and they end up in jail, and that's why hence the orange jumpsuits and performing the band performing in the jail cell and being sort of like being hooded and being dragged down to the being dragged down into the jail into the cells and basically like Lisa, like you said, Lisa, not giving up and going down. Uh, if I'm going down with like a fight with a fight. Uh,
Yeah.
so not giving up, never give up, never surrender. So
Yep.
yeah, really good one. I like that one. I really like that one. So any other sort of like comments about the band?
I thought they were really a really cool band. Yeah, I love songs that have lyrics that like not to give up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Oh yeah. So what's your rating?
I give them a solid 8. Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah, same here. Same here. Yet. Definitely yet. I would like to I would like to listen to a few more of their songs to see what there's the fireworks. Bear with me. What celebrating now? Bear with me, noisy bastards. Uh, June 1st. Never mind. Just ignore the fireworks outside. Yeah, really good band. Like I said, I would love to like listen. I'm going to sort of like check them out on their check more songs about them. So yeah, so going on to the next song, the next band, which is let me just see, get the notes back up. It's the last band, and guys, I do hope I pronounce this right. Deimos Dawn, yeah, Deimos Dawn, I should say. I hope I pronounced that right.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and the song is too much pain is not enough. So, do you want me to start off this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing. I wanted to pick this because I know you like thrash metal. So this is from Berlin. This is a thrash metal band from Berlin. So
Whoa, cool. Yeah, I totally love this. Totally love this because of like obviously the thrash. Um, obviously for the thrash because I love thrash. Because I've got a thrash metal band. I've got Militia there. Is the thrash metal band from Texas in the US. Plus I've got a Motorhead tattoo just here from your upper arm, and Motorhead. Even though that let me turn around and says we're just a rock and roll band. No, let me you create two genres there, speed and thrash. So yeah, I miss Lemmy. I really miss Lemmy. So yeah, rest easy, pal. Rest easy. So yeah, yeah. Like I said, I totally love the drums, love the bass on this. As they're strong and powerful. They sort of like really properly in your face on that one. The guitars are brilliant, and they've got some really cool solos there. For the drums, a bit like Mickey D, the drummer for Motorhead before Lemmy the God sadly passed away. He used a double bass drum, two bass drums. Um, the brilliant, brilliant on that. Love the aggression of the song. The vocals, absolutely brilliant. It's sort of like really get sort of like not sort of like the sort of like not like a screamo, but it's sort of like got more like raspiness to them. Sort of like he was projecting, the guy was actually projecting sort of like really powerful projection there. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. And yeah, talk about pain and everything. So yeah, I think everything sort of like everybody, yeah, it's like can to some degree knows about pain because everybody goes through some form of pain or another throughout their lives. So yeah, brilliant.
I'm not I'm not laughing about pain. It just when you said that, it was like
yeah, yeah,
I wasn't sure where you were gonna go with that.
yeah, yeah. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm a bit. Sometimes I do waffle on a bit sometimes. So yeah, but I do get to the point at some. I do get to the point eventually. So so yeah, I totally loved it. Totally loved that. I've actually subscribed to their channel and I've put the song in the unsigned independent bands playlist. So anybody wants to sort of like listen to that, because ever since we started doing this, I sort of like created several playlists. So if anybody wants to sort of like listen to primarily the unsigned and independent bands playlist, go head on over and you can actually watch there. So yeah. So what did you think of Deimos Dawn and the song Too Much Pain? Enough?
I really like them, and I'm glad you did too. I kind of figured you would. I was like, I need to pick a thrash too. Yeah, started out really strong with the heavy bass and the drums, deep vocals, and it fit the song really well. Drums were fast and furious, great transitions. Love the guitar solo. The drums and the bass really kept the pace. Drums like a machine gun in places. Not quite the octopus,
Yeah.
but yeah, the double kick was pretty cool. It really fit the song. I really loved the lyrics when the going gets tough because too much pain is not enough. Yeah, it was cool lyrics, very strong vocals, great bass and guitar. Yeah, the drums were amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. So, what is your rating for this band, Lisa?
Strong 8.5. Yeah, I really liked them.
8.5.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sort of like leaning towards a 9. I'm sort of like, I am leaning towards a 9 on that song and the band. It's, yeah, I sort of like I've got several different, I've got several favorite genres of rock and metal. One of them is obviously thrash. The other is sort of like, the other is like goth. The other one is sort of like symphonic metal, and yeah, totally love it. Totally love that. Yeah, totally love that band. So yeah, totally love it. So like I said, just ignore the fireworks outside. There's just idiots going on. So yeah. So guys, if you sort of like wondering what yeah, if you're wondering what we want talking about these bands and everything, all the videos to the songs are actually in the description below. If you want to check them out, please do. And if you sort of like, please do. And if you do check them out, please come back to this video and let us know. Either way, either way, whether you like them or not, doesn't matter. Just give us some feedback. And yeah, yeah, because we know that everybody's taste is different. Some people might like them, some people might not. So it's all down to personal taste. So just let us know. We won't take any events or anything. We just bring bands that are interesting to the show. The bands that are interesting, doesn't matter what, if it's like rock and roll, going through all the genres up to like black metal. We try and cover. We do try and cover as many genres as possible, as many bands as possible. So yeah, and yeah, and if you know of a band like Curiosity's Randos and Chris, uh, she was in the live chat last week. No, when was it? Monday? Was it Monday when she was in?
Uh, it was.
Yeah.
I think it was. It was Saturday, wasn't it?
I always say Monday because we started a bit late. So, and yeah, anyway, but she was in the chat and she
Okay.
mentioned, we said, do you know if you want us to look at band, put it in the chat or in a comment. And she put in 2 hymn songs and the Sabaton and the band Sabaton. So we checked them out, and yeah. And if you wanted us to check out a band, please do leave it in the live chat or in the comments and say, "Oi, Lisa, can you check this band out and this particular song?" And we will. So yeah. And if you are in a band and you want us to check out, please again put it in the comments. We sort of like we do cover a lot of the show, all the show, we try and covers all the genres and as many bands as possible. So if you are in a band, just let us know. Tell us the name of your band and a song that you want us to check out, and we will. So yeah. So right. So midstream grift. Midstream grift. If you're new here, hit the smash the subscribe, spam the like. We do like a good spam there. So yeah, and share, comment, and all the good jazz. And and make sure if you're subscribed, please make sure that you are subscribed because uh, YouTube is well being nefarious. They've been unsubscribing a few people from a lot of channels. So please make sure that you're there subscribed. So yeah. So anyway, that's our midstream grift. Oh, before I forget, how can I forget? Check out our gorgeous Lisaboo's store over on Etsy. The link is in the description. And the store, check out her store, Boo the Bell X Studio. She's got some amazing stuff over there, and and it fits, and it fits everybody's budget. So yeah, she's got some amazing stuff over there. So they got what little statue, like little statue things, bracelets, brooches, neck pendants, stuff like that. So yeah, some amazing stuff over there. So go check them out. Go check them out, guys. So yeah, that's Lisa Boo's Etsy store. Boo the Bell Studio over on Etsy. So right, that's our midstream grift out of the way. So Lisa Boo, you finished the Empire trilogy of by Raymond Feist and Johnny Wirtz last weekend, and you ordered the Betrayal, Crondor, the Betrayal, but it hasn't come yet, has it?
No, it hasn't.
Yeah.
This is
So
what I'm reading. This is what
yeah.
I'm reading right
I was
now.
just about to say you started the Prince of
Yeah.
Blood.
Yeah. And I am almost at, let's see here. I'm at 180, page 180 already. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I was going to say Prince of Blood's pretty much an easy read. So
Yeah, I'm
right.
just about halfway. Let's
Yeah.
see here.
So
Just about halfway.
cool. So Lisa, what do you think of the book so far?
At first when I started reading, I'm like, I know these characters. The names, it was like, I know these princes.
Yeah.
I know
Oh
these
yeah.
people. And then when they call him James, it's like, that's Jimmy. I was like, James.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first it was like, it's like I know these characters. I know these characters. And then when it all started to fit, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing with like uh I won't say too much for people who are wanting to read or who started reading the Feist series of books. Um, back in Silverthorn, or the back end of Magician, and the start of start of back end of Magician. Jimmy the Hand is a thief, a pickpocket, and several other things. But when a certain thing happened and he was elevated to be a squire in the palace of Crondor, and certain things happen, and so on and so forth. And it gets elevated to, actually it does get elevated to the personal squire of Prince Arutha, and he's been called by his proper name, James. So I won't say too much about what happens or why it gets elevated, taken from like a life of crime to being like the personal squire of Prince Arutha. So I want Lisaboo knows what happens because she read the book, first 6 books up to now. So yeah, so yeah, so the book Prince of Blood is set 20 years after. I think it's about 20 years after the Darkness of Sabaton. So
Yeah.
what did you think of without giving too much away? What did you think of like where the story is at now?
At first it was like, because like after coming from the Empire books back
Yeah,
to back to Nightmare, that side of things, but in 20 years later, um, it took a little bit to kind of get back into almost the swing of okay, who are these people? Okay, I know these people. And then it was just like putting things back together, right? Like the
yeah,
characters and kind of getting your feet under you, as far as who these people are, and back to that, like, okay, what it may be like 20 years later. Um, Very interesting, um, seeing the character arc, and I won't spoil it for anybody. But yeah, if you want to start reading the books, they're amazing. So you won't be
yeah,
disappointed.
yeah. Yeah, it sort of like as the name suggests, Prince of Blood follows a couple of princes, mainly one in particular, and his journey into being, shall we say, being a spoilt brat and going from being a spoilt brat into turning him into a sort of like well-rounded human being. With because he goes through, I wouldn't say too much, but he goes through a few trials, shall we say?
Yeah. I wasn't sure how much to say because I didn't want to give too much
Yeah,
away, but yeah, the old saying, "Born with a silver spoon in your mouth." Um, that's pretty much how I looked at that, right? Like
yeah, a
um,
spoilt brat.
yeah, yeah, kind of like somebody else. He doesn't
Oh,
learn.
yes.
He
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
learn, but
oh,
hopefully this prince will learn.
yes, yeah. Like I said, he goes through a few trials, and yeah, reminds you. If you wonder, well, if you know, you know, and if you know, you, yeah. So if you, yeah, so yeah, so a certain prince is yeah in real life. So
We want
yeah,
privacy. We want privacy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like yeah, it's yeah, yeah. It says you know if you know you know. So yeah. So yeah, it's now. Uh, Oscar, how can I phrase this without giving too much away? So you've, like you said, you've read roughly half the book up to now. Um, what do you think of? Obviously, we know James or Jimmy the Hand, but it's been called James. So, what do you think of James's character after 20 years down the line, being in service to Prince Arutha?
I think he's been an incredible benefit to Prince Arutha, and he has seen a different side of life. He has seen the hardships and living hard and living basically hand to mouth and not having the luxuries that others in their society have had. So he's seen the hardships and he has the experience and the knowledge to help the people around him, um,
Oh yeah, yeah,
especially the young princes. So, yeah, I think it's been a benefit for them to have him around.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if you sort of like read the magician books, please read these books. They are absolutely amazing. You sort of like see Jimmy throughout the series of books go from this obnoxious, streetwise, petty criminal, i.e., being a thief and a pickpocket. And I do see the character development, the growth that this character's been through, going, like I said, could be from this obnoxious, self-assured pickpocket thief, and actually grow into like you said there, it's going from like living, pretty much living on the streets by his wits, and being sort of like elevated up into sort of like I don't know how more polite society, shall we say?
Well, his going from a lower class to more of an upper class, um, it was quite a change for him. Um, but yeah,
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 but yeah, yeah, it was definitely a change for him. It was a big change for him. So yeah, so yeah, it's like sort of like in this book, The Prince of Blood, sort of like his Jimmy the Hand's sort of like street smarts has pretty much served him well
yeah.
um, for Prince of Ruther, because he sees things more in a sort of like jaded way, because
Yeah.
because he's lived on the streets, because he was living the hand and mouth. He didn't know where his next meal was coming from. He had to like live by literally sort of like, yeah. So when he sort of like got to the stage where when Prince Ruther sent him out on doing certain things, he knows how to survive. He knows how to sort of like get the information back safely to Prince Ruther, if you know what I mean. And then when he puts in Prince of Blood, he sort of like of puts in charge of this certain mission type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you got to see.
I was just gonna say, if you kind of think the same way on this point, you know how Erikaze was in the Empire books, right? How he was basically the master spy um,
For Mara.
yeah, for Mara, and his upgrade, his start in life was similar to Jimmy's.
Very
I
similar.
I found quite a resemblance between those characters in certain ways. How how their arc is similar. So I just wanted to know like what you thought of if you think that's
Yeah.
if
Oh yeah. Both Jimmy and Anakazi, both were both their mothers were sort of like, how can I put this politely? Women of negotiable virtue. So yeah, and they didn't know who their fathers were. So they had to, both Anakashi and Jimmy were sort of like had to grow up by any means necessary, if you know what I
yeah
mean.
and with their wit, using their wit and their smarts to survive. So I really found that interesting when I started reading, especially when I started reading this one, and how Jimmy had well James now, how he had changed. I could see Erikazi in him. Like I could see that. It was very interesting to me, and I wondered
Yeah.
what you would think about that.
Oh yeah, I'm the same. It's like very similar. Obviously, our Anakashi is sort of like Johnny Wirtz' sort of like creation. Then you got James or Jimmy the Hand or James now is Feist creation. It's sort of like obviously two completely different writers, and obviously the two characters are from two completely different worlds, but their story is very similar, very similar. So I was like, yeah, it's good to have like that sort of like link, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
between them. So sort of like links both leukemia and Kelvin together, if you know what I mean.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there might be. Yeah,
I found that interesting. It was interesting when I started
yeah,
thinking about it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's sort of like yeah. Granted, the there might have been leukemia and Kelvin were sort of like at war with each other, but the stories are very similar to like the especially the ordinary Joe blobs of each planet. It's very similar in, so it's like a bit like if you think about it, it's a bit like this planet sort of thing with like with the different cultures. If you
yeah,
strip back everything down to the basics, very similar, like stories. If you know, with the ordinary people, very similar stories, but it's like from two different countries. If you know what I mean.
yeah.
So
So yeah, I found that very interesting when when it kind of clicked when I was reading this book because I could see where James now, not Jimmy, but James, how um he reminded me so much of Eric Coffey, like in that way where like the smarts, the street smarts, being able to blend in and you know, do things that maybe other characters couldn't because they didn't have that talent, right? That sleight of foot or that, you know, that wit about them.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Plus, like with Jimmy, he's very quick-witted.
yeah.
He's got his bump of trouble in his part of his head. It's sort of like bordering on sort of like supernatural.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting because Erikazi had that too, where all of a sudden he'd get that feeling
Yeah,
and Jimmy would get that feeling too. It was like this
yeah,
feeling that they had. Like
yeah,
when something wasn't right or something was happening or they both had
yeah,
that where it was like and I found that very interesting.
yeah. Yeah, it's like you said, it's like sort of like bordering on the super, like some people might say it's sort of like a sixth sense,
Yeah,
but
like
it's also
ESP or
being,
something.
yeah, yeah, it's sort of like being sort of like uh, as if you read the books, it's sort of like the greater magic and the lesser magic, greater path and a lesser path. They Arakashi and Jimmy might have been on sort of like the lesser path of magic,
Yeah.
where they could sense. It's like if you take a look at Culkin in the Magician, he was a lesser path magician, and he apprenticed Pug to him, and he was trying to teach Pug that sort of like a lesser path, yeah. But Pug was sort of like something different. He sort of like was like beyond the lesser path type of teachings, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
And he sort of like he was more of a and if you listen to if you read the explanation in the Empire books, the great the black robes, the great ones explain that the how the two paths sort of like meet, like there's sort of like similarities, but the brain basically the brain is sort of like wired differently, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I thought so basically that's just one of Arakazi and Jimmy sort of like fell through the cracks and sort of like say this the lesser paths sort of like magic magicians and then sort of like Jimmy and the Arakazi is just below that where they used like sort of like ESP sort of like sixth sense sort of like type of thing where you never I don't think they explain it that well. Um, I don't think they explain it that well about where Arakazi and
And I know you
Jimmy.
can't tell me if they do find out. I know you can't tell
Oh,
me, but yeah, I
oh
just found it very interesting how they were so alike.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, unfortunately, because of the Cronedorf, they haven't been in the Cronedorf books just yet. There's some characters. It's sort of like thinking, right, okay. If you when you do get the Cronedorf books, the some of the characters in the Prince of Blood and um, the King's Buccaneer will make a lot more sense if you know what I mean. Because the Cronedorf books is set between Darkness of Sethnal and the Prince of Blood. So
Yeah.
it's sort of like I think it's the Condor books is round about 10 years 10 to 15 years after the Darkness of Sabaton.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'm not. I'll have to look. I can't remember when they said they'd be coming, but they are coming. Like I think it's going to be a couple weeks, but
yeah,
hard to say. It's today's the 1st of June. I can't believe that, but
I know. Yeah.
yeah,
But I just need to go and nip to the toilet there,
yeah,
to the little boys' room. So I'll be back in a minute.
yeah.
So,
No problem. Problem. Well, guys, please hit that like, share, subscribe. Really helps the channel. Um, so yeah, yeah. If you have any bands that you want us to review, just let us know. Yeah, and if you are a band and want to have an interview, let us know. Because we'd love to do that. Yeah. And in the last while here, I've been watching this really cool band called Glowstick, Glostik. They're a band from Indiana. They're really cool, and they do covers. They do their own original music. Super cool band. Yeah, go check them out on Kick, and they're on YouTube. Glowstick TV on Kick. Yeah, and they've been doing live streams, live concerts basically on Kick on the Kick channel. So yeah, it's been really cool listening to them. So yeah, they do probably about 3 hours of basically a 3 hour concert on their Kick stream. So yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, go check them out on Kick. Glowstick, Glostik TV on Kick. So yeah, please hit that like button, share, subscribe. All of the people on replay, we love you. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully you guys are liking the bands that we're um, doing reviews on. Really love finding these bands for you guys. So yeah, it's been really cool. Are you back?
I'm back.
You're back.
Yeah. 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 We definitely do like. Well, we do enjoy looking for new bands and revisiting bands and yeah. Oh, and yeah. Speaking of revisiting bands, if you sort of like say, "Oi, Lisa, you did a band a couple of weeks ago. Please mention whether it's in the chat or in the comments and say, "Oi, Lisa, can you've looked at a band a few weeks back? Can you sort of like take a look at this other song that you've reviewed, that you've discussed here, and say, can you take a look at this other song as well?" So
Yeah.
yeah, by all means.
Yeah. And I was just mentioning Glowstick while you were off camera there. Yeah, they're from Indiana. They have one live gig coming here in Iowa. So I misspoke when I said they were from Iowa. So I apologize to Glowstick for saying you were from Iowa. But did I say Iowa or Ohio? Me and names. Man, oh man. Yeah, they have. They go ahead.
I was going to say you should see some of the place names in in the UK. You're thinking, how the hell do you get away with some of these names?
Yeah.
like opens like the name Twat.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Or see you next Tuesday Street.
Oh my goodness. Really?
Yes.
Wow. 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 So yeah, I was just gonna say that Glow Stick does have they are playing one gig this this well on June 21st to the 23rd. It's in Ohio Dream Fest. OhioDreamFest.com, and it's at J&M Ranch in Ansonia, Ohio. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that for anybody that I'll mention it
Cool.
again on Monday, but um, I just wanted to mention it while we were doing this. So anybody planning to maybe want to go on a road trip or whatever, if you're in that area, go check them out because they're really good.
Cool. Yeah. 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 It's like yeah. Go check them out, guys. I have managed to catch some of their live streams over on Kick. It's Glowstick TV. It's kick.com/glowstick. That's glostik.tv over on Kick. So go check them out, guys. They are really, really good. Not only do they sort of like take questions from the chat, they also do play music. Not only do they sort of like do play their own music, they also do like sort of like perform like covers. I know they did a Motorhead stream the other day, the Ace of Spades album,
Yeah.
uh, which I've watched a little bit of it. It's really, really good. Really, really good. So yeah, go check them out, guys. They're really, really good. And also, I did interview um Buddha a couple of weeks ago, couple of Fridays ago, 2 weeks ago, I think. Really good interview. Thank you to Buddha and Jay for setting up the interview. So thank you guys for that. So yeah, really, really good. So all right, let me just see. Um, speaking of interviews, um, I on Tuesday I'm going to at 7:30 p.m. UK time. I am going to be interviewing a Romanian band called Simfresh. That's Sympress. I'm going to be interviewing the band. They are a damn good band from Romania. Then on, I've just set this up today about time is it now? Um, 3 hours ago. I've just set this up. I'm going to be interviewing a Canadian artist, a Canadian musician. Um, bear with us, called Carol Bernardo. Um, next Friday on at right, bear with me. Bear with me. Yeah, next Friday at 9 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Nova Scotia, West Coast, East Coast of Canada, 4 p.m. East Coast of the US. So going to be interviewing Carol Bernardo. Yeah. I've listened to some of the songs up to now, and she's going to be releasing a new song, releasing a song this month. So going to be yes, I'm going to be it's going to be fun. Going to be fun. Fun interview because she's good, really, really good. So yeah, and if you're in a band or you're a musician of any description, please let me hit me up on Instagram. Um, if you want to set up an interview with me, yeah, let me get the profile. If you want to set up an interview with me, by all means, because yeah, we get you on and do an interview. Especially if you want, if you bring out, whether it be a new song, an EP, or an album, or you're going to be sort of like touring or something like that, we get you on and discuss. So yeah, just hit me up on Instagram, and here's me link to Project Metal Music's Instagram page. So yeah, that's what's coming up next week. Oh, and also on Monday night, the PM Project Metal Music's podcast on Monday. It's going to be number 88. Number 88 for that one. So yeah, that's what's coming up on the channel. So I'm hoping to get more interviews. So bear with me. So yeah. So sort of like we've got about 10, 15 minutes before we start wrapping things up there, Lisa.
Yeah.
So any other thoughts on the Prince of Blood up to now?
I can hardly wait to find out. Yeah, it's a real page turner. This one, it is a bit of an easier read. It's not well. He's going through stuff, but it's not quite as difficult as the Empire books were for me.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
it's a less. It's like it's not exactly. Well, with the book, it's harrowing, but it's not as harrowing as what Mara went through in the Empire books.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely, because I really related to her. It was difficult sometimes, to not physically feel it, if that makes sense. Yeah, that was difficult for me, but I mean, I got through it. I read it. I'm very glad I did. It was amazing. Like just learning about the different cultures and stuff like that. Even though it's a fictional thing, it's still very interesting because it relates a lot to cultures in our society, right? So I could see a lot of that in our own, like in reality, not just the fantasy part of it.
Yeah,
So
I was going to say that's the thing with the Feist books. It's sort of like Feist draws a lot of inspiration from reality, if you know what I mean. It's sort of like it does sort of like draw a lot of like, especially with like with the say, this is just an example. Kellowin with the Kellowin's sort of like it draws like a lot of inspiration from the Japanese, Japanese culture, the Far East culture, especially with the feudal warlord type background of like Japan and China way back when.
Very much honor system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then with the Makemia, he sort of like got like he draws a lot on like the European culture, especially in the like sort of like medieval times with the sword and sorcery type of myths and legends of like the like the sort of like if you take a look at sort of like this like Sword in the Stone or the like the Morty Arthur type of thing with that with the sword and sorcery type of thing.
Yeah. And I kind of saw like a little bit of that Game of Thrones kind of feel to it, right? With that kind of with this sword and
yeah. Then you got a sort of like you got like especially with like the with the dragons and stuff like that. You sort of like the sort of like the sort of like trying to slay the dragon because there's a lot of like especially in the Western culture, sort of got like an innate fear of dragons.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course, if you take a look at Panthers, which is like a lesser dragon, which is like the pit drake, fire drake of Kogan, and then to with Pug. Sort of like people like don't like fire drakes there because obviously they attack the farms and take like the like sheep and stuff like that. So yeah,
that's one thing that I haven't seen in this book. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen the Drake. So
yeah.
And don't tell me. I don't know if you know, but hopefully you still there.
He's kicking about. He's kicking about. So he's still there, but he's in the background. He's in the background.
Yeah. It kind of made me sad seeing how Colgan has gotten so aged. He's aged. Of course he's aged, but
Yeah.
it's kind of sad how
Yeah. That's the thing with like with Feist going through as you read more that there's obviously that he's got to move the story along, if you know what I mean, and that's why he's like that's why in Magician sometimes the jump maybe it's 2 years, and then within like the if you take a look at the Magician, you're talking something like 15, 16 years jumps. Like that's just a Magician. It's about what 15, 16 years time period in that book.
Yeah.
And then you sort of like then you got like in Silverthorn, it's about a year after the Magician, and then it's about another sort of like about another 6 months to a year in Darkness of Saturn. And then it's sort of like with the Kingdom, with the Empire books, it's sort of like intertwined with
Mhm.
with the first with the Reforged saga. So yeah, it's like that those the Empire books obviously they sort of like cover 15 to 20 year period.
Yeah.
Because obviously Mara, when you first start in the first Empire book, Mara was 17. When it finished, I think she was about what 47. About 40.
She was in her 30s.
Yeah.
I know she started getting silver in her hair.
Yeah.
She was late 30s, I think, but
Like late 30s, early 40s,
yeah.
and then so yeah, and then the Cronedorf books is about 10 years after the Serpent War saga. About 10 years after the not Serpent War saga is later. That's later. That's after the King's Book and Air, the Riftwar saga. It's about 10 years after the Battle of Cethanol, which that's the main plot. The Darkness of Cethanol. That's the Battle of Cethanol. Then the book that you read now, The Prince of Blood, is about 20 years after the Darkness of Cethanol. That's 10 years after the Condor books. And but with King's Book and Air, I think it's about about 5-6 years after the Prince of Blood, and then Serpent War saga is about another 5 years after the King's Book and Air, and then so on. It's sort of like do like a time jump, so that so Feist couldn't actually move the story along, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, but obviously, every book is basically setting up for the next book, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So the next sort of like plot point, if you know what I mean, is sort of like picking up, like setting up for the. Because if you take a look at what happened in sort of like what started out in McKinney in the first book, Magician, sort of like set up for. Not only did that set up for like sort of like Silverthorn and the Darkness Assassin, it also set up for the Empire books. You know, because if you notice the certain points that appeared in Leukemia, in Magician, there's also cross is sort of like overlapped in the obviously they did overlap because it's at war with each other, but it's sort of like set up like because if you ever noticed in Leukemia in the Magician, there's certain references in Leukemia they expanded on in the Empire books. Because I know Johnny Wirtz looked in the Magician, because I've just like I said I'm rereading Magician,
Yeah.
and I give you a little bit, tiny. Which I won't say what happens, but there's a throwaway comment in Magician between Kasumi and Lowry, right? Where the Lord of Minawabi has died, got killed off, and it's a reference to what happens in the Empire books. I won't say what happens, but that's a little thing. That was just a throwaway comment, literally a throwaway comment in that book. But Johnny Wirtz basically turned around and says, "Here, Raymond, come here. I want to expand on that throwaway comment in there," and she did, and it turns out to be a major plot point in the Empire books, but I won't say what happens and who did what of whatever it is. But it's sort of like it's set up. You know what I mean? It's set up for like what people might think when you read the books is sort of like, oh, that's just a throwaway comment, but you got to stick in the back of your mind and say, hang on, that's a throwaway comment, but you're thinking, is that going to show up somewhere down the line, type of thing? So show up in the story down the line. It's very Feist is very sneaky like that. You might fucking say, oh, that's a throwaway comment, but down the line it might show up again, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's a very clever writer, that.
Yeah. I can imagine, like, it just makes me think of how he did it. Like, if he had storyboards or if he had, like, you know, just to keep it all in, you know.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder where he wrote, what he had on his wall.
No. I don't know if you've ever seen the programs where there's a big wall with like all different notes and the red lines connected to each other.
Yeah, especially with crime shows and stuff, and they're trying to figure stuff out, and it's like, yeah, that's what I'm wondering, like, what his wall would be like with all the storyboards.
Yeah. I think if you ever read the foreword to his books, he always thanks certain people for coming up with ideas.
Yeah.
He always thanks people to say, "Oh yeah, I like to thank this person because they contributed something to the storyline."
Yeah, I read everything. I read it all.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And I noticed that he had thanked. I think in this one he had thanked. Well, of course he thanks his wife quite a bit, but yeah, he mentions Johnny Wirtz in this, right?
Yeah.
For letting me take care of one problem before giving me another, and for taking such good care of their horse, which I found kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was in this one there was a map. I was happy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like well, put it this way, it centers around Great Cache. This one.
Yeah.
This one. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It centers around Great Cache.
Yeah, I love the map. If you don't know already, I love maps.
Yeah. To give Great Cache the proper name, the Empire of Great Cache. But it's been shortened down to Great Cache. So, that's the thing. That's the beauty with Feist. He always gives you like some, not all the time, but the majority of the time he gives you a map of saying, "All right, okay, we're going to go to, we're going say Jimmy the Hand. Oh, I'm going to go to say, for instance, South, or up to Sabaton, or up to say, for instance, Tyresog, or up to Lamut or places like that, you have the map to say, oh, where's South? Oh, right, oh, okay, it's just up the coast from Crondor. Oh, where's Tyresog? Oh, it's up in the mountains between in the foothills of the Great Towers. Where's Dartmoor? Oh, it's just on the just getting on the border between West King between the two halves of the kingdom, the West and the East. You know what I mean? Oh, where's Bastar? It's on the other side of the Kingdom Sea type of thing. So
Yeah. And Kevin was Kevin of
Tyresog.
yeah. That character really stuck with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you were like saying, "Oh, where's Kevin? Where's Kevin? What happened to Kevin? What happened to Kevin?" So, I can't tell you. I can't tell you what
I
happens
know.
to Kevin.
I know. I was like, oh, that broke my heart. It was just, oh, those books.
Yeah,
I'm not saying anything.
yeah,
I'm not saying what
yeah.
happened to Kevin.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's because I've read practically every single book by Feist. It's just it's literally hard for me not to actually turn around and say, "Oh yeah, this, and this happens." You know what I mean? It's like it's hard. I just wanted to. I just want like have like sort of like verbal diarrhea and say everything.
I was
If you know
going to
what I
say
mean?
word vomit, but
Yeah, it's
yeah.
yeah. I just want to say everything, but I know you want to read the books, and I just don't say anything. Give sort of like a few pointers, but don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't spoil any of the major plot points. I know Lisa wants to read through it, and I know the viewers want to. If they do decide to read the books, I want them to experience the books for themselves. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting to have like when I first started reading them to now, like how different it has been. Because when I first started reading them, I just wanted I wanted to see, and I was like, calm down, you can't don't say too much.
Yeah,
You know, as you learn, you know, like not being, you know, because I and it's like, well, if I say this, then you know, people that are reading it are just, you know, it's like somebody that hasn't seen a movie and somebody comes on and just you know, and it's like all the spoilers, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't want to spoil it for people that want to read them. So yeah.
yeah. Yeah, never know how I feel. I was just want to, oh yeah, and this, this character's done this or that character's done that. Or it's just, oh, if you look at this and you say, oh, this is going to happen, and it's like, no, no,
Yeah.
just don't. I want you to, like, uh, I want you, Lisa, to actually experience the book for yourself. If you know what I mean. I want you to actually enjoy the book. And I don't want it like virtually spoiler free. If you know what I mean, virtually
Yeah.
spoiler free. Obviously, every time you get to the next book, I will say, "Oh, right, okay, you this particular book's got like certain things going to happen." I'm still not going to tell you what's put out. It's like with the Empire books. There's certain things I said, be careful, be careful. There's certain things going to happen, and it might be triggering. that might be triggering for you.
Yeah.
So be careful. So I know when you come up to, I'll explain a little bit when close to the day when you do get to the books. The Serpent War saga is brutal in places, so I'll explain a little bit more when you do get to that particular story, part of the story, if you know what I mean, part of the saga. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah. Anyway, but let's concentrate on the Prince of Blood at the minute. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'm enjoying it. So
yeah,
it's a little bit easier of a read, like you said. But I mean, there are points in it that there's some rough things in it. But
yeah,
yeah, it's easier. It's easier than the Empire books, and a lot smaller. Not it's
yeah,
not 700 pages of
yeah.
one book. This one,
I was,
how many
I was going to
pages?
say that the average is around about what I think it's around. Well, the three books together, you're talking about a minimum 1,500 pages at least,
Yeah,
possibly more.
that's 429, and then there's an afterword, which is kind of neat. I like how he does these like little like things at the beginning and the end of some books, and like just little insights, and
Yeah,
I like
no,
that.
but yeah, that's it's sort of like with the forward, with like the acknowledgements in the forward, is sort of like it tells you how he actually came up with the idea, who helped him with the ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah,
About the book and actually helped him to actually develop I would say I was going to say a world, but it's sort of like the universe of the Rift War cycle, if you know what I mean.
yeah, yes, and it really was a universe. It wasn't just the two. Um, but yeah, you'll have anybody that's listening that wants to read. You'll have to read them to find out.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So yeah, and it's worth
yeah,
it. It's worth the read. It's worth, like, he's an amazing writer, and anybody that I talk to that asks me for a recommendation, or right away, right away, I'm like, you gotta read this. You gotta, do you like this?
yeah,
Do you like this? Oh, you'll love this. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's uh, at the minute. I know you like reading, and yeah, and you are on an epic journey at the minute. Yeah, so yeah, I've got a few more recommendations in actually of other authors in within the fantasy realm, in the fantasy genre. I've got like about what one, two, three, four, about another four, maybe five. Yeah, five writers you can actually read. So yeah, yeah, it's yeah, it's a lot of books, a lot of authors out there
yeah,
um, within the fantasy realm that you might enjoy.
yeah. I'm not doing too bad for the
Yeah,
time, for the amount of time I've been reading them. I haven't been
yeah,
doing too bad. I don't
yeah,
think I've been doing too bad. How many I've
yeah,
read so far. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying them, so that's the
Yeah.
main thing.
Yeah. This. Yeah. Actually, I want one. One. Yeah. It's about six, seven. There's about six, 7 authors that you might enjoy within the fantasy realm. Have you read Terry Pratchett by any chance?
Um, I don't, I don't think so, but me and names.
Yeah.
I know.
Have you heard
Yeah,
of Discworld?
I think I've heard of it, but I
Yeah.
don't think I've read it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's sort of like Terry Pratchett is. He created the Color of Magic. It, the Thud. There's the Wade sisters. He's created characters such as Rincewind, the Golems. I mean, it's basically Discworld is a disc, the flat Earth type of thing, on sitting on top of four elephants, which are sitting on a space turtle, flying through space.
Oh my goodness.
And the universe was created by a giant elephant fart.
Okay.
And it's funny as hell. Put it that way. It's funny as hell. It's funny as hell. He's also done he's done TV adaptations of some of the one is called Going Postal, The Color of Magic. There's computer games and all sorts. And Good Omens as well. Good Omens.
Oh, I've heard of that. I've heard of
That's
that.
Tony Pratchett.
Okay.
With David Tennant and Michael Sheen.
Yeah, I've
Story
heard
in
of
it.
that. I haven't watched it, but I've heard of it. I think it's in my to watch. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it's good. I've read the books. Good, really good, really, really good. It's unfortunately, Sir Terry Pratchett died a few years back
Oh,
through dementia. So,
yeah,
unfortunately,
yeah.
which
That's too
was a
bad.
tragic day for literature. Sad day.
Yeah. So whatever is out there is all you're gonna get basically now,
Yeah.
unless somebody
Going,
revises or I don't know if I like that idea, like going
yeah,
and taking somebody else's work and mind
yeah,
you, with the Lord of the Rings, that kind of like with the movies, I didn't mind that. But
yeah,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like when somebody comes in and doesn't
yeah,
do it justice or changes things and yeah,
yeah.
butchers
That's
stuff.
no good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The only way that Terry Pratchett is, well, he still lives on anywhere. He still lives
Yeah.
on through his work. But the only way, unless he's like every chance he got, he wrote down sort of like ideas and like parting, and people come in and add, put them in order and add to the like. Obviously, if somebody's because it comes up with another. There's another writer who sadly died before he finished the series off. But they come in and say, "All right, yeah, I know how his style of writing. I can actually finish off the story that somebody was writing." And then yeah, same. It was like I don't know if you read. I don't know if you know the author, Robert Jordan. He did the Wheel of Time series. He died. I think he died in the book 12 out of 15. He planned on doing. He died suddenly. I think it was like book 12 or 13, something like that. And somebody came in and finished, knew his writing. He jotted down the final couple of books, the story for the last couple of books, and somebody came in and said, "Yeah, I know his style." I was sort of like apprenticing underneath him as a sort of like ghostwriter type of thing. And I
Okay.
know his style of writing, and finished off the series of the Wheel of Time series. And also Robert Jordan was a bit of had a bit of a doodah back in the early 80s, where he had a bit of a battle on who created the the Conan books, like the Conan the Barbarian and the Conan the Barbarian
Yeah.
books. He had a bit of a doodah with another writer. They said, "Oh yeah, I'm the one who wrote it." No, he says, "No, you're not. No, you're not. I wrote it." I can't remember exactly, but there was like a doodah about who like a legal battle on who wrote the Conan books, the Conan the Destroyer, and the Conan the Barbarian books, which spawned the movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, that's another writer you should check out. It's Robert Jordan, because I've read I think it's up to book 11, I believe, book 11 of the Wheel of Time series. So it's a good,
I've heard of it. I haven't read them. I've heard of it
yeah,
though. Um,
yeah.
yeah. Isn't there a movie or a show or something that's the Wheel of Time too? Or was based on it? For some reason
Um,
I I think it is something else.
live research, live research. Bear with us, guys.
For some reason I think there was a movie or a show or something. And it wasn't that long ago because I remember hearing about it.
All right, bear with us, bear with us. Right, yeah. Television series, The Wheel of Time, 2021 to present.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. There it is there. So you can see this is on the Wikipedia page.
Yeah. I'm not sure which channel or whatever it's on. I for some reason I'm thinking Netflix, but
Amazon Prime.
yeah, okay.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, so if I did want to watch it, I could watch it because I have it. So um,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting for Monarch to come back on.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah,
it should be on round about later on this year. It'll probably start later on this year, around about December time, and finish off in January of next year. Type of thing. That's usually the time period is when usually around about October time when new series start to come out,
yeah,
and then when the finishes the go up for if they want to continue if they want to continue with the series in like they make a decision in February, March the following year, and then it's sort of like, oh yeah, right, okay, you've got to go ahead. So then they start filming again in like in the summer.
Yeah.
So it's going to be round about I think December time, because yeah, I really look forward to that. Really
Yeah.
look
So am
forward.
I. So am I. Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah. So yeah, it's oh god, I want to I want to see what happens to
Kurt
the
Russell's
three
character.
Kurt Russell, the and the other
I can never
characters.
remember their names.
Yeah, no,
Kurt Russell's character.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because, from what I've been hearing, that Wyatt Russell, from what I understand of it, is going to sort of like have something to do with like another series, but another like sort of like because in the in the first season of Monarch Legacy of Monsters, Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell played the same character.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kurt Russell played the older version of the character, and Wyatt Russell played the younger version of the same character. Wyatt Russell was basically his version of the character was set in the 50s. Kurt Russell was set in between 2015, which is a year after Godzilla movie with Bryan Cranston, and in between, like I said, 2015 and 2019, the King of the Monsters. That's their time period. So, so from what I've been hearing is that Wyatt Russell is going to have like his own spin-off series of Monarch: The Legacy of Monsters, focusing on the 1950s, 1940s and 50s time period of the early Monarch period. Because don't forget, the original Toho Godzilla film came out in 1954. God, it's been 70 years since that movie came out. 70 years. 70th anniversary this year. So obviously they want to like this is how far it's true, I don't know. That's just what I've been hearing. So it's like at the minute it's to me it's just a rumor. So that's what I've been hearing. So when they announced that they're going to be doing the filming like a second season of Monarch, I was like, yes, I can get it. I can actually find out what happens to the three characters, obviously the brother and the sister, half brother and sister, and the friend, and what happens to Kurt Russell,
Mhm.
and plus like I don't know if you ever saw Godzilla versus Kong movie, not the latest one, but the after the 2021 film Godzilla vs Kong. There's a company in there called I can't think of the name. Apex. They show up in the end of the first season of Monarch. So I want to see what happens there. I want to see what happens there. So yeah, good series. If you haven't watched it, go see it. There is a couple of episodes you're thinking it's pure filler. That's all it is. It was just pure filler. Pure. I think it was episode 5 and 6. I think it was just pure filler.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, but I watched it.
Yeah,
I was just doing it.
yeah,
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 I did.
yeah,
I watched it all within so many days.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I watched it like pretty much from week to week,
yeah.
which was
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Well,
yeah,
it's been 2 hours and
25 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah, it's time to wrap up. Time to wrap up. So, any final words, Lisa, before we sign off?
Uh, take care of one another. Tell the people that you love them. We never know how much time we have, so tell them you love them. Give them hugs and kisses and all that good stuff. And don't drink and drive.
Oh yes, it's a full-on dick move. Yeah, me and Lisa, been we've seen too much crap in our lives, and yeah, drinking and driving is not a pleasant thing. It's never a pleasant thing because you ruin too many lives. Not only the person or the people, but it's yourself as well. You don't just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it because it's yeah, like I said, full dick move. But if you're going to drink, get a taxi, Uber, whatever it is, public transport, train, buses. Get a friend or family member to pick you up, or if you're feeling a bit flush with money, get a hotel room, but never ever drink and drive. Never ever, never ever. So yeah. So Lisa, guys, until next time, catch you all later.